In combat sports, fighters are expected to follow the rules, respect their opponents, and compete with integrity. But sometimes, ego takes over, and boundaries get pushed, sometimes to the point of outright misconduct. That's when referees step in to restore order. But this video isn't just about referees enforcing the rules. What makes this moment stand out is how these guardians of the sport take matters into their own hands, putting overly arrogant fighters back in their place. Take this fighter, for example, flat on the canvas, refusing to accept that the fight is over. Fueled by arrogance, he tries to get back up and attack the referee. Dressed in black and gold boxing shorts, he aggressively shoves the ref and even goes for a takedown. This ref, he's not just there to officiate, he's got the skills to handle himself. With the composure of a seasoned fighter, he counters seamlessly, locking in a guillotine choke and rendering the out-of-control fighter completely helpless. A similar incident unfolded in the next fight. When the referee called a stop to the action, both fighters still wanted to go at it. With tensions running high, the referee wasted no time. He swiftly locked one fighter's neck and slammed him to the canvas, putting an immediate end to the chaos. That referee, none other than Yamato Zaharia, a man well known for taking decisive action when fighters step out of line. One of his most memorable moments came during a promotional event featuring a Wild 2 versus, one fight between three influencers. At one point, the outnumbered fighter found himself cornered, taking relentless shots from both opponents. Sensing the imbalance and the potential for serious damage, Yamato took control. He restrained one of the attackers to prevent an unfair ground assault. But when the fighter refused to listen, Yamato made sure he learned a lesson he wouldn't soon forget. In a kickboxing match, Yamato's temper flared once again when a fighter blatantly ignored his instructions. The two even went head-to-head in a heated standoff. Fortunately, the fighter managed to keep his emotions in check. So this time, Yamato didn't have to rely on his physical strength to enforce order.
Yamato Zaharia.
A similar situation unfolded in the fight between Ahmed Al-Darmaki and Bogdan Kirilenko. Just minutes into the first round, Al-Darmaki forced his opponent to tap out. But instead of releasing the hold, he stubbornly held on even as the referee intervened and repeatedly ordered him to stop. What followed was an intense confrontation between Al-Darmaki and the referee, escalating into a shoving match. Despite the provocation, the referee kept his composure and avoided taking more drastic action.
No, you don't do that. He's going to make a big mistake messing with Mark Dunn.
Then there's the incident involving referee Joey Lepitin. After officiating a match, Joey called for both fighters to shake hands as a sign of sportsmanship. But instead of complying, one fighter outright refused and hurled insults directly at Joey's face. From there, tensions quickly escalated. And finally, we have another arrogant fighter who simply refused to stop his attacks, despite the referee's clear instructions. With no other choice, the referee took matters into his own hands, locking the fighter in a chokehold and forcing him into submission. Using a neck lock to put an out-of-control fighter in check? Just another day in the life of a referee who refuses to be disrespected. The moments when referees take down arrogant fighters aren't limited to MMA arenas, but have also occurred in karate tournaments. At first, the fight unfolded as expected, with both competitors trading strikes. But when the referee stepped in to stop the bout, neither fighter complied. That's when the ref decided to teach them a lesson they wouldn't forget. immediately shutting down their arrogance. Judging by the precision and power of his strikes, it was clear this referee wasn't just enforcing the rules, he was a highly skilled karate master himself. From the karate mats, we shift to a chaotic sparring match between two boxers. One fighter, completely out of control, refused to stop even as the referee attempted to restrain him. Instead of backing down, he shoved the ref aside and continued throwing punches at his opponent. What happened next was straight out of an action movie. Another referee, watching from outside the ring, suddenly leaped over the ropes, rushed in, and slammed the arrogant fighter onto the mat, bringing his reckless antics to an abrupt end.
Stepped in, body slamming the troublemaker to the ground.
The madness didn't stop there. Still in the boxing arena, another fight spiraled into absolute chaos. It all started when the boxer in red shorts landed an illegal punch to the back of his opponent's head, a blatant rule violation. Things escalated fast. Spectators from outside the ring began storming in, turning the scene into an all-out brawl. Amid the commotion, one particularly unruly spectator found himself on the receiving end of a punch from the referee, who was desperately trying to restore order. But at that point, control had already slipped away. The entire arena descended into mayhem.
The fight's still going, and one of the cornermen from Tibblecoff's corner, Sharky Raymond.
This next moment is yet another example of just how chaotic things can get inside a boxing ring. During the fight between Julio Gonzalez and Wayne Cook, Gonzalez suffered a dislocated shoulder, a serious injury that should have immediately halted the match for his safety. But Wayne Cook refused to accept the referee's decision and kept throwing punches. That's when things took an extraordinary turn. The referee, whose job is to maintain order and protect the fighters, had no choice but to take decisive action. When Wayne ignored his commands, the ref stepped in, locking him in a chokehold and wrestling him to the mat, putting an abrupt end to his defiance. A different but equally shocking incident took place in another boxing arena. One fighter, refusing to accept the referee's stoppage, reacted by punching the ref in the head. Naturally, no referee would take that kind of disrespect lightly. Without hesitation, the ref took matters into his own hands, slamming the arrogant fighter to the mat in a swift and powerful response. And then we have this Muay Thai referee, whose reflexes were nothing short of extraordinary. In a tense moment, a fighter threw a kick well after the round had ended. But before it could escalate, the referee reacted instantly, catching the kick midair and shutting down any further nonsense. His quick thinking and control prevented the situation from spiraling out of hand. Lastly, in another intense moment, a karate referee made a bold statement. When a fighter landed an illegal attack on his opponent, the ref didn't just issue a warning. He slammed the rule breaker to the ground, delivering both punishment and a clear reminder that the rules must be respected.